Hey guys, Fusebox here again, and so I've been working on my Lizardman, so we're gonna go over another one. I took 2 up to try to help my whole group to get through the faction wars. I'm trying to beat the last stage, and it's a good time to explore new champions. Don't forget though, on my last one I asked you to help me pick who is gonna be my next skinwalker. So real quick, at the beginning of this, let's just kind of look at who my options are right now. We have 1 vote for Grizzled was talking about seeing Urson Ironhide, definitely one that I'm interested in myself. And I believe somebody was talking about Flesh Ripper, and a secondary choice by one of those was also taking up Taurus, the one that can throw out a lot of poisons. But let's just real quick, let's put this by affinity, see who I'm working with, because you too have a chance to weigh in. You can do any reason, no specific reason needed. Who do you want to see me build on my skinwalkers? So why did I do affinity? Faction wars. So the faction wars, I'm trying to build up my skinwalkers. I've been lazy on both the lizardmen, I'm fixing that now, but the skinwalkers, my options are actually pretty limited. So I've already right now got Fame built out. I've got Grappler, he was great early game, but now I'm stuck with the 2 Urson bears. So Ironhide was one of the options that somebody brought out, definitely a cool bear. Urson Ice Crusher, actually they kind of pair up together, I noticed, but look through, make your choice for your own reason. Somebody that you want to see them in action. I don't have many options, so it will not hurt my feelings whoever you choose. There's Flesh Terror, I believe somebody was mentioning him. Fleshmonger as rare, he brings defense down, that's useful. Rain Beast, Taurus, and then I believe I have a couple of obscure options, and not many, just 2 I believe. And so no point in getting into the deal. So yeah, let me know who you want to see out of these built up. Any reason, you don't have to give me a reason. But if there's somebody you want to see in action, that will be the next person I take up. I'm building food right now to go ahead and do it. So, yep, have some fun. Also, again, I cannot thank you enough. The subs, the support, hit the likes, leave some comments. All that stuff just helps the algorithms get going. But the subs, I can't thank you enough. That's what's going to help me grow this channel. And getting it out to other people, that's where the likes and the comments, they actually help the algorithms start throwing me out there amongst all the other guys. So anyways, enough of that. No more pandering. I do appreciate it, honestly, I appreciate it. But when it comes to the lizardmen, I have been building them out because as I said, I've been neglecting them. We just went over Aox, but I went ahead and took up Quargan the Crowned. Honestly, I brought him up out of morbid curiosity. He has an okay kit. He has decent base stats. I like that speed he has. He has decent HP, pretty decent defense, which oddly enough, as always, he's unbooked. I threw the gear that I wanted on him without getting crazy into it. And really, I should have played off that defense a little bit more, I think. But let's look at what he does. We'll go over how I built him, and I have literally taken him nowhere. We're going to try him out together by reading his kit, thinking about what he's going to be useful for, who he will accentuate the best. We'll make note of his affinity, and we're going to try to find some places to use this guy. I already know a few things he's going to be decent at. So his skills. What does this guy do? Pretty simple. A1. Attacks an enemy. 30% chance. All this does book up, obviously, to a much higher chance of increasing the duration of 1 random buff on one of your allies. So there's no controlling this. It's very random, but it is a positive thing. Somebody gets to keep their increased speed or increased attack a little bit longer. No control over it, so we're not going to go over that too much. Just a decent little bonus on an A1. That is his only attack, so he's not really a damage dealer. So A2, Overgrowth. This is a decent move. He heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. Then he places a shield equal to 15% of their max HP for 2 turns. Now, now with books, look, you get an extra 15% heal, an extra 15% shield. The cooldown goes down to 3. This is really becoming a stronger move every time you put a book into him, and depending on your masteries, even stronger. It's effectively a 30% heal, and then it goes up even more in value on both sides, the heal and the shield, when you do increase his masteries and books. So this I'm hoping is to be a pretty solid move. We're going to try it without books first. I have to figure out who I'm going to actually put books in next, now that I'm building these heroes quickly for my faction wars. So we'll see how he plays out, but definitely solid. Not only are heals great on a 3-turn cooldown, but combining that with a shield, which is effectively a heal by giving you more damage absorption, in some cases that can play out better than a heal itself. So we will play with that. On a 3-turn cooldown for 2 turns, he's not going to be like perfect for that scarab boss or anything like that, but he could play a role if you're using 2 shielders to juggle through the scarab boss. So keep that in mind. It comes with heals too. And then he has his last move, Attunement, and this is you want this booked out. It's going to put it on a 4-turn cooldown instead of a 6, but this is like basically one of those smart kits. I like it. Any of your characters who have higher attack than defense, they're going to get increased attack, making them more effective, usually your nukers, and it's going to give them perfect veil to protect them from incoming damage, and less damage when they get hit with an AoE. It's protecting your nukers, and then for the people who have higher defense than attack, it increases their defense, making them actually do more damage as well, and protecting them since they're not under that veil. And it gives them block debuffs. Since they're the ones standing the ground while everyone else is under veil, you're able to make sure they don't get stunned, provoked. They can keep doing the things that are important that make you love those heroes. Really, really cool. And then there are some in-between heroes. You may have HP heroes, support champions, speed boosters, and if your attack and defense happen to be pretty close, you can choose. Do you want to protect them with giving them a perfect veil? Well, just buff up their attack a little bit. Same thing with defense. Do you just want to protect them more? Usually I make fast and tanky support heroes, so a lot of them are actually just going to get the block debuffs, which means they get to keep rolling through their moves, increase defense, just to keep them alive. That's it. That's his kit. It's a smart kit that protects every hero on your team the way they need to be protected, shields them, heals them, and then the A1 just increases buffs as you go. So what did I do with masteries? It shouldn't take long to go over. So you'll notice that I'm going into War Master a lot, because before I ever use my free reset, I definitely want to try these people out in Doom Tower against bosses. Anybody I bring to a boss that doesn't do tremendous damage, this guy is not a damage dealer. I typically I want to get extra damage on that boss so that they are of use. So I went pretty much straight down into War Master. This right here, you can pretty much ignore it. It was either on this slot, I either could take Kill Streak or I could take Sniper, which does not matter. This guy needs 0 accuracy. He lands no debuffs, makes it way easier to build him. You can get way more creative. And I could take Spirit Haste, where he gets extra speed for dead allies. I'm hoping not to have dead allies. That's where I'm at right now. So what is important? Basically, straight into War Master, whatever you want to do on this tier after you take your straight path. He needs no accuracy. That leaves the defensive tree completely open any way that you want to use him, but he heals and he shields. So, and he heals on everybody's max HP. So let's let him heal himself more. Give him some HP is what I thought. Increase his shield by 5%, and especially once you get them books, that's even better. Increase his heal by 5%. Increase his heal even more if somebody's under 40%, and his shield's under 40%. And then because increase his turn meter by any buffs that he casts as they wear out. He's putting up these shields. As they wear off, it's going to speed him up even more. We'll look at his stats in a minute. I went ahead and took Merciful Aid because I do think that nowadays he's going to get a lot of use in places like possibly with, I built him with high HP. That makes him kind of safe against the Ice Golem. He's, you know, where they ignore defense, the HP will keep him alive. He's putting up shields, This increases shields against freezes, stuns, sleeps. Anybody who's under any of these debuffs, they're going to actually get 15% more on their shield buffs and healing. He does both in one move. Definitely wanted to take that. Doom Tower. Cycle of Magic, he only has a few abilities, but if it wants to reset one, I'm all about getting back around to his shield or his ability that increases defense on the defensive characters, attack on the attack characters, puts them under Perfect Veil. Excellent move. And then Lasting Gifts. Let that shield last an extra turn when it can. Definitely cool. So he's not really a complicated hero. He's interesting. I like the smart kit that he has built in, but pretty easy to go over. That's what he's got going on. He's kind of dressed like maybe one of the Protoss from StarCraft, if you ever played that. I don't know. He's interesting looking, but he looks mean. He looks tough. They did a good job again. They keep these lizardmen. They're definitely. He's got a very triangular head. Where I'm from, that means poisonous, venomous. I'm in Texas. Lots of venomous snakes. But hey, he's a cool cat. But I have not tried him out at all. So let's go and let's take him into a few places where it makes sense to bring him. Let me set something up on, we'll go straight into a dungeon where I think he makes sense, paired with people that I think he'll make sense with. Hold that thought. Let's look at how I built him out. He's a support champion. I want him fast. I want him tanky, as always. So I want him to stay alive and try to help keep everybody else alive. So I threw him in a regeneration set. I don't use an awful lot of these. They're amazing, by the way. The regeneration set, it actually heals you by 15% every turn. It takes 4 slots, but that is a huge heal. So I went ahead and used some. I've got some laying around. That's going to keep him healing every turn, and I wanted him to be fast. So I used the Divine Speed set here. And I did look for speed rolls where I could get them. You know, some of them only rolled once, twice. I think some of them didn't roll at all, like right here. But I got him in speed boots, and then after that, I really was looking for everything. Not really stressing on attack. I happened to get several attack rolls among all this, and I did put crit rate gloves on him. I explained this yesterday, but let me go over it again. When I do not do a lot of damage with a hero, I don't push his attack to 2,000 or 3,000. I'm not going to worry about trying to pump him up for damage. But you get a huge boost just by giving him a decent crit rate. I think I landed right at 90% crit rate. That's just the quickest, easiest way to make sure that whatever damage he does is pretty much doubled. Or even better, considering if you can get 1 crit damage necklace on him. Not everything's rolled up all the way yet. He'll be a little bit better. He'll have some more defense, some more HP, a little bit of everything when I get it all rolled up. But basically what I'm going for is about what you see. I just want to improve upon it a little bit. He's got high HP, decently high HP, so that way he's not my target. No one's going right after him. This also means he heals himself and shields himself for more. The higher the HP, the more you get. Remember that when you're pairing people up with him. Attack just happened to land a little bit higher than I would have planned, but I'll take it. I mean, he only has 1 attack. At least maybe it'll do some damage. I would rather the more be on defense, but with the HP, that was my main focus. He is fast enough to do the job of a support champion. He'll be rolling pretty quick through his abilities. 90% crit rate. I just threw crit rate gloves on him to make that hop up a little bit. This is only from just sheer luck on the gear that I put on him, and I did throw 1 crit rate necklace. I did not push any of this, but I'll take it. He needs 0 accuracy, which does give you the ability to kind of push some of these other stats in different directions. But most importantly, because you can avoid accuracy, he needs 0. Basically, focus on speed and HP, and the rest will probably fall in line, to be honest. If you want to just make sure that when he hits, at least it counts, just throw some crit rate gloves on him. Hopefully get some HP rolls or defensive rolls underneath it. It's really a bummer that this set has 2 accuracy rolls. But I was trying to get him in a regeneration set. I took it. You know, it already had glyphs on it, so I took it. And that's him in a nutshell. So let me set him up somewhere. We'll see what he can actually do. I have not tested him at all. Alright, one thing that he would be absolutely amazing at. I do not have Candrafon, But if you were to take him into the arena, alright, so if you had a Kendriphon, he actually needs that veil buff to do like 40 or 60% more damage. It's an amazing amount. I don't have him. It's not easy to put a veil up first unless you have, is it Duchess? They can do that. So he's your answer. He can go right before him, put up a veil on anybody that has higher attack, which would be Kendriphon, making sure that he can nuke everybody down. Other than that, depending on your team, he could buff any defensive heroes with defense up, block debuffs. That's handy. It would be better for like a go second team probably, because he would veil your heroes that are going to nuke. I really don't have any team to show him off there, but the shield, the heal, it definitely, I will say, it's going to benefit an awful lot from books. I don't know, how many books do I have? I don't think I have very many, to be honest. I have 3. I don't think we're going to make a big difference with 3, to be fair. And I don't know if I would be booking him first or if I would be booking Aox, but a couple here, this is not a big deal. If they land there, it would actually not be great. It'd be wonderful if they landed here, getting this move more often, and it's going to take at least 5 to make this one. So I'm not going to sit around and put books on him right now. I tell you what I will do though. This should finish her out. She's worth finishing out. So there we go. My final cooldown. She's finally done. Physics is complete. Alright, well here's what we're going to do. The reason I built Aox and Quargan was basically for my faction war Lizardman. Right now the Galian Pact thing is going on with the dragon, and I'm just going to see, can this group get through the dragon. Now, it's worth noting the only poisons I have on this team are coming from Aox, who has no books, which means he has a 15% chance on his 2-hit A1 per hit to land a poison. That's not much of a shot, so this may not work out. But Quargan is my main healer. I do have some revives in a pinch coming from what is it, Broadmaw. He's only 550. My second rosin that I actually did, I fused one after I got one, he's at 550 as well. But we will have lots of turn meter control between Aox, 2 rosins. That's a lot of turn meter control on the entire team. We're going to take hits though. It's absolutely going to happen, but he can actually boost the defense of my defensive characters, veil anybody who has higher attack, which I know will be at least himself. And let's just see, can he keep us afloat? Can he get us through to the dragon? And if we obviously could bring a poisoner if we struggle on the dragon and change the outcome of this. But so already we've got veil on ourselves. That means we're going to protect Quargan throughout this. If he had all his books, this heal would come around, that move would come around so much more often. I really think that he would be worthy of bringing into a group just to keep you alive. He's going to be a little weak at this point because it takes him so long to get back around to his moves, but this is, if you're building him, this is how you're going to start out. So let's see how it goes. He should come back around with that heal and shield after his next move, I believe. So the only guy who could revive died, of course, but 550, didn't expect him to get far. He's keeping everybody else pretty healthy right now. He's giving extra defense to all the other characters, putting veil on himself. It may work out. So let's speed this up. There's definitely not much to see here in terms of he's going to continuously try to put up veil on himself, keep everybody else tanky in defense, and then bring his health, the heal and shield back around when he can. Let's speed it up, get to the end, and see if we can even stand a chance at beating the boss with only Aox, who can barely land a poison. I have to say, other than Broadmaw eating pavement right off in the first round, the shield, the heal is holding up well. And we've got turn meter control from Rosin, and Aox. Like, that, no real control other than turn meter control, but it's paid off. Now here, this could go south. If we don't land, I have no books on Aox. If he doesn't land any poisons, then he'll never have a chance of extending those poisons. It could get pretty ugly here. It could get ugly. But the shield, we might be able to eat a couple of, we also put up block debuffs. If we put it up at the right time, we can eat some of these stuns. And there we go. We blocked 3 stuns. He was under a veil, so he doesn't get block debuffs. That was definitely a critical move. We finally have a poison up. It looks like we got either procced Master Hexer, or he actually extended it one. So we might get through this. It's not going to be pretty, but if we can get back around to that heal pretty consistently, and there it is, shield's back up. So is block debuffs on 2 of them. A couple of poisons. This may work out. This may work out. With books on Aox and Quargan, and maybe go ahead and put some real gear on Broadmaw so he doesn't just die as soon as somebody looks at him. This is actually not a bad team. All Lizardmen. All Lizardmen. And manualing I could do very well through Faction Wars. I've already done very well. I'm almost, I think I am on the last stage. I had to 3-star 20 and then beat 21. So I think I've got a path now. I could still take Rosin to 60, my second Rosin. And that was a pretty comfortable win for basically a 4-man team. Quargan played the healing role. He's definitely the only healer I had on that team. The shield and the heal combined did the job. So absolutely, I'm not regretting building him up, especially for the Lizardman faction. And so if you're going anywhere else, what can he do for you? We won't run the whole thing, but well, you get the idea. Give him his books so his cooldowns are low. And if you're trying to get your your cold heart or your 2 cold hearts to the end of Fire Knight, he's going to put them under a veil, and you can bring other people like Vizix the Unbowed to do their control and keep them tanky while the veil is up protecting your damage dealers. And the way I have Quargan built, his attack is just a little higher than his defense. He protects himself too, so he can continue healing throughout it all. And that's what he's going to do. That's, anywhere you take him, that's what he's going to do. Solid hero, not amazing. I admit he's not amazing, but he's a solid hero. Let's put him on a real team. All right, let's see what we can get out of him on a legit team. Let's give him all the amenities we need and let him come in to protect, like Herndig. Herndig needs protection. Obviously, Brogni can do it, and probably much better than Quargan. I'm not going to pretend he can't. But if you don't have Brogni, what can Quargan do for you? Let's see. Where is it? Where is that beautiful lizard? All right. So the idea is he will protect the people needing protection with Veil, making everybody else tankier, blocking debuffs that can come from these guys. Hopefully his heal will be enough to get us through it. We do have Seal of the Drakes as well. This probably will not be just an easy fight. I don't know. It may go well. We've already got Veil on Quargan and Herndig. Herndig's the one who needs it the most. So we got through the first round. Now that everything's out of sync and our abilities are not all off of cooldown, this is where it's going to have to, it's really going to shine if he can keep us alive. So is that heal enough to get us back up? Of course, we'll have to revive. We'll have to revive first. So now that he's back up, hopefully this is where you need those books. Not gonna lie, the guy needs the books. He's not outrageously, but there he goes. He healed up. He gave us that shield for a cushion, and we're starting to come back around to our moves now. So we're starting to get everything done that we need. Not looking too bad. Right here, I would typically stop and auto A1 everything so that my abilities were ready to be off of cooldown for the next round. But let's just let this play through because, yeah, I think with the books, this guy would be just fine. Keeping a Veil every 4 turns on Herndig His heal would come around every 3 turns. We wouldn't have to see so many A1s. He would basically be coming about. You would get your veil up, your protection for your defensive characters, straight into a heal and a shield. He would take an A1, take another A1, go right back into a heal with a shield, and then right back into a veil. But as it is now, he's definitely helping get through this. There are better. So where are we? There are better. There's no doubt about it. We won't make it just last forever here. There are better heroes to do the job. Brogni obviously is better, but if for the Lizardmen and things like right now, the Dragon's Lair, the Galian Pact, absolutely worth having in that pack. So I don't regret building him. He definitely, with books, is going to be much more useful at protecting those squishy heroes that you need alive at the end, like a Lure or a Coldheart. He's a good champ. He's a good champ, especially for his faction. Nothing amazing there. I'm not going to pretend he is, but I wouldn't regret building him. Also, you've got to beat that stage, that nasty stage, all epic Lizardmen in the Doom Tower. He's going to help out quite a bit there. And he's got a ways to go. He needs a lot of books. Need to work on his gear a little bit. Aox right beside him makes for an excellent pair. So, yeah, I don't regret building him. That's where I stand. He's good. I don't know about amazing. I do think Aox is a much more amazing champion in the Lizardman faction. But having both is not a bad idea. You start pairing them up in the right order, you can get a lot out of him. So, no point in dragging him out. That, in a nutshell, that's Quargan. Definitely a cool champ. Let's see. So, where do I really stand? I think Aox gets my books before Quargan does. That's where I'm at right now. I think I'll give books to Aox first. I definitely will be building Quargan out. With all this regeneration gear, I'm not going to be worried about him dying. Definitely not first in any group. So he's going to play a big part. I don't have a whole lot of Lizardmen. A big part in my Lizardman faction. And well, there you go. What can he do for you? There it is. End game, you're going to want him less than early game. Early game, he'd be a pretty solid champ to help get you through content. But the thing is, as you become mid to late game, he's actually more important for you to have just for the faction. So if you've got a better champion at keeping you alive, Seal of the Drakes, you know, or a better shielder. There are plenty of better shielders. If you've got Miscreated Monster or something, you don't have to rush into him. But just know that he is worth holding on to for the day that you need your Lizardmen to actually be a little bit stronger and need that sturdiness. I do like the Smart Kit. Once that's on a 4-turn cooldown instead of 6, that's really great, protecting the weakest on your team, buffing the more defensive heroes on your team. Everybody's attack goes up because of that buff, whether they're defense or offense. So he's a good champ. Not amazing, not going to break the game, but he is going to be an amazing champ for his faction. That's where I stand. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. The weekend's coming. I am back on call, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to let it get to me. I really do enjoy doing this. I honestly enjoy doing this. So if I have to stay up late, I'll stay up late to bring you more content. Let me know on the Skinwalkers. You can go to the last video, this video. Keep letting me know who you want to see built, and that is who I'm going to build. I'm putting food. I'm getting food ready right now. I'll take them up and might even go ahead and start throwing books into them if that's somebody you really are interested in seeing. Are they worth using? So until next time, guys, enjoy the grind.